The records are now open. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. This is the 2/7 episode. Today is February 7th, right? I do believe that is the case because tomorrow, February 8th, my team and I are traveling to Los Angeles to be ready on February 9th for Conscious Life Expo. I have been busily preparing for this event and feel very happy right now to take a time out from that and hang out with each one of you. Welcome to Akashic Answers with Emily. Let me know when you come in, where you're tuning in from, what your name is. Say hello to me so I can say hello to you. And also, let me know if you are a first timer joining us in the space today. For the regulars out there, if you see any first timers in the space today, please reach out, send them a hello, a comment, and invite them to join in the conversation because it is going to be a good one today. I can already feel the energy coming in. If this is the first time you're here, let me give you a little context of what we're going to experience today. First of all, let me just thank you for tuning in. There's a million and one different places you can be putting your attention right now. So thank you for joining me in the sacred classroom. Thank you for following your intuition into this space. We are going to dive into the Akashic Records today. If you are not familiar with the Akashic Records are the realm of consciousness that hold all intelligence, past, present, all potential futures. And this intelligence is recorded from a neutral perspective, which means the perspective of unconditional love and zero judgment. The cool thing that you need to know is that every single human has the ability to tap in and extract wisdom, guidance, clarity from God perspective, soul wisdom. Right? And when we can tap into this frequency, we have the ability to see ourselves and our problems and our challenges through God mind, which is so different than how we are experiencing them in our human mind and our human experience. So what you are going to get today is an experience of how the Akashic Records work, at least how they work through me. I'm going to be channeling intelligence based on your questions. So go ahead and light up my chat box with your questions today. And I will not only share through the insight that I'm picking up from the records, but we will also do a transmission and energy healing so that we can shift at the cellular level. But I do want to say this is just how the Akashic Records comes through me. I want to invite you to notice what is flowing through your field, meaning your intelligence, your imagination. It is your intelligence, but what's flowing through your imagination, because that's where this subtle energy of God mind communicates with us, is through our imagination. And we all can pick up different things in the space of the records because we've all had different experiences. And it's important, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think it's important for every human on the planet to open up their access. Yes, it's great to utilize the talents of other healers and visionaries and shamans to help hold a frequency, to hold a channel for us. But we must do the work ourselves. And if you have the ability to tap in and see your life through God perspective, what are you waiting for? If there are areas of your life where you feel stuck, I see Dink asking here on Instagram, what is the direction of my career? If you feel confused or stuck or unsure of the next steps in your life, the Akashic Records can help direct you and help you see the potential of new opportunities. All right. So we're going to play and shift here. The Akashic Records also allow you to tap into higher and higher levels of your creative genius so that you can understand how the universe works, which I'll be honest with you all, it's cool to understand how the universe works. I saw my friend Esoteric Johnny on here a little bit ago, Johnny Enoch, incredible quantum mind, assimilating knowledge that helps us understand how the universe works. And What our responsibility to do is to bring it down on a microscopic level to say, how is this informing my life, who I am right now, and the decisions that I'm making? How can this empower me and call me forward into a higher level of self-leadership, which means I get to create with the matrix, with the etheric field at a higher level. I get to create that which I desire to experience. Okay. All right, so light up my chat box here. You guys are doing a great job with the questions. We're going to dive in. We're going to jam for the next 25, 30 minutes or so. I encourage you to stay for the duration of the channeling today, because what I notice is the intelligence tends to build on itself, meaning as we start and we begin to unravel insight and information, the guides will take us deeper into the areas where we get to learn and grow as we continue to examine questions through this space. All right, you ready? Let's rock and roll. All right, so Dink, I'm gonna drop in with you first here and get information around the direction of your career from the Akashic Records. And this also, I want to invite anybody who resonates with this intelligence, even though I'm tapping in to specific guides here. If this resonates with you, this message is for you. Okay. And remember, there's a transmission that comes through that will help to shift you. Okay. So, what is the direction of my career? First thing I'm seeing, Dink, is blue energy, blue light, blue. So I don't know what significance the blue has for you. And the guides are also saying that and this is for anybody who is looking for career shift and change right now. Yes, what we shift into is going to be individual. It's going to be unique. It's going to be differentiated depending on what our passions and our curiosities are. But that part's the same. You got to follow passion and curiosity. And a lot of us have lost touch with what that looks like in our adult modern day context. So the guides are encouraging you to go back to childhood, and they're sending the transmission right now through the mind. Nice deep breaths. So what this is going to do, this energy that's coming through, this transmission is coming through. I'll describe to you how I'm experiencing it. It's moving through the mind and the layers of memory in the mind, illuminating memory. So you may be getting some now, or it can also unfold after this. So be on the lookout for childhood memories that pop into your mind. But I ask specifically for those with the highest vibrational frequency. I know we got some childhood trauma that we need to clear. And because of that, a lot of us have blocked childhood memories. So this is going to open you up in a gentle way to help you remember that playful, adventurous, curious version of you. I was going to say before the world destroyed you, but the world didn't destroy you. This is part of the learning. We all signed up for this, but I do recognize that there's challenge in that. All right, so if you want to receive that transmission of being able to open your mind to access childhood memory, no, I'm not going to bullshit you though. For some of you that have childhood trauma and you say yes to this, it is going to open up pathways for you to begin to gently see and remember circumstances in your life. But the guides are saying for those of you who are brave enough to say yes, there's energy coming through the solar plexus right now. Oh, it's just my camera tipped. Energy coming through the solar plexus right now to activate courage. All right, sorry, Instagram, we're going to be a little wonky. The courage for you to see the truth, and energy also coming through the heart. I know what's happening here. Hang on one second. There's a magnet on the back of my phone that's about to fall off. Sorry, everybody, 1 second. It's a loose tooth hanging out. Hang on 1 second. I have a backup right here, although it's going to throw my eyeline off just a bit. And then memento. All right, we're sort of back. Love working live. Come on, where's my mic stand? There we go. Okay, cool. I've got way different eye lines now, guys, so just keep rolling with me. Let me just drop back in so we can get that transmission. Maybe I can tip it just a little bit there. All right, so first transmission coming in the mind to illuminate our childhood memories, good ones, and the caveat with this one coming in that if you have childhood trauma that you haven't dealt with, this will bring it forward very gracefully for you. There's activation in the solar plexus to bring in courage to know the truth. And then there's also heart energy coming in that will allow you to tap into a deeper level of forgiveness, and forgiveness will set you free. Take that in. And that's what we're really looking for, the guides are saying, going back to the original question, which is around career shifts and changes. And if you are looking for a career shift or change right now, what you are desiring on a deeper level, the guides are saying, is freedom. So just breathe that in. I'm just going to send through a transmission right now of freedom for you all. That's one of my, I don't know, should I call it a virtue or a mantra? I don't think it's really either one of those, but something that's super important to me. Jason Asquith, I see my childhood friend Jason in the house. Jason and I grew up in the same town where the Underground Railroads ran through the town. Now, if you're not familiar with U.S. history, the Underground Railroads are a system of caves where during the time of slavery here in America, the slaves escaped to freedom. And I was fascinated with these caves growing up, and recognized through my Akashic Record training that I had a past life of leading people to freedom. So I feel very connected to freedom, and in a lot of sense, feel like I'm picking up where I left off in this lifetime. All right, send some love, likes, hearts across the screen. Let me know in the comments. Give me a yes in the comments if you received something powerful there. Let's all thank Dee for helping us all get activated. Thank you, Dee. All right, let me grab another question here. Nick Meyer, I'm trying to heal my ancestors, but I only know 2 generations. Good. Ding says, yes, that was helpful. Thank you. Excellent. Okay. Nick, anybody else working with healing ancestry? You're recognizing that you're healing ancestry. All right. So let's talk about, first of all, the guides want to illuminate what ancestral bondage looks like. So if you're not working on this and you need to work on it, you can start working on it. All right. Let me know in the comments if you are working with ancestry. Give me a yes. Okay. All right. So ancestral bondage and trauma gets passed in the DNA. And what it looks like when it's showing up in our life is playing small, a lot of fear-based thinking, yeah, I think playing small pretty much covers all of the areas where we don't want enough for ourselves or our self-worth is out of balance. There are the guides are saying that there are work ethics that are ingrained in us as well, such as, well, like especially here in America, there is a tendency to win accolades and create identity, like positive identity around how hard we work, around constantly working. And that can be passed through our ancestral lineage. Okay. If you feel that you have blocks in the ability to attract wealth into your life, science has shown and studies have shown how wealthy people and children who are born into wealth tend to stay wealthy, and people who are born into poverty tend to stay in poverty, even if they win the lottery. You've heard of the curse of the lottery, right? It's because these are about patterns. And so the things that feel really stuck for you, a lot of times that can be passed through the ancestry. And one of the reasons that doing our ancestor clearing work is so important is because we got to change the planet for the future, for our children. And the guides are wanting me to talk about a specific place where I'm noticing the ancestral work being done, not only by myself, but my clients right now. So, Nick, even if you only know 2 generations, first of all, in the Akashic Records, we can ask for awareness around whatever it is that we need to heal and whatever it is that we're ready to heal. And that intelligence can become available to us through the records. Okay. But an interesting place where I want to bring everyone's attention, especially those of you who resonate, are how many parents we have out there. If you're a parent, type parent in the comment for me. Because truly, this is where we need to be doing the ancestral clearing. Where have you fucked your children up along the way? Whew! I definitely have. I've been a great parent along the way, and then I've also had some moments that I'm not super proud of, and I've also had some moments that I didn't recognize were so damaging in the moment, but holy cow, now I see it. And parent, I see you guys. So an example of this looks like with my son, London in particular, my middle son. I've shared with you all before that I have experienced radical breakthroughs in my own ability to source and resource wealth. I haven't always been able to do this. My pattern for a long time, it was like an accordion. I have a lot, I'd have nothing. I'd have a lot, I'd have nothing. And in the times when I had nothing, I'm on food stamps, nothing. And London, from the time he was born up until, I think probably junior high, right? Pre-junior high, we were freaking poor. And it stressed me out anytime he needed to buy something. And so now when the poor kid needs a new pair of shoes, for example, oh my gosh, guys, you my son, if you don't know, now you know. I'm going to tell you something crazy, fill you in on some gaps that you've missed in my life. I know I've missed some in yours too, if we're just getting to know each other. A lot of people are talking about 2023 last year being a hell of a year. My son London was carjacked and kidnapped. And in the process, he escaped on the freeway, ran down the freeway, hopped over barbed wire fences. Kid ripped up his vans like I've never seen. Not a scratch on him, but his vans were cooked. You know how long it took before he would accept and receive a new pair of shoes? So as I see this trauma in my children, because I'm looking through higher mind, rather than being ashamed of myself or sad or going into a downward spiral around that, I recognize, ooh, crap, I did that to him. And so the biggest and most powerful way that we can help our children right now understand what's happening to them. He doesn't know why he gets terrible anxiety in his stomach when he goes to buy a pair of shoes. The best thing that we can do, the most powerful thing we can do, is educate them. Authentically, directly, honestly. So I say to him, oh man, London, first of all, thank you for sharing that with me. Second, I get it. And I think I see a pattern as to why you experience that. And so I explain the pattern. And I say, does that make sense? It's like, wow, that really makes sense. And so, all right, we can untangle it. You really should untangle it, kid, because you do not want to have, hi, Susan Lewis. You do not want to have that energy pattern playing out for the rest of your life where you feel anxious when you need to buy something or be in the flow with money or purchase something for yourself, or like, screw that. We don't need to be in that kind of bondage. That's not freedom. Anybody feel that kind of bondage in your life around spending money? Anybody used to feel it and break through, but now you see it in your kids like me. So what I do is, because I can see this, I explain it to him. I say, this pattern didn't get ingrained overnight. So we're not going to shift it overnight, but let's work on it. So I give him practical tools. So when you go up to the cash register at Kohl's to buy your new pair of shoes, practice breathing. Exhale longer than your inhale. So your vagus nerve kicks in. Your parasympathetic nervous system, you can calm down. You can begin to shift in those moments that you're feeling the anxiety. This is how we need to be working with our kids right now around ancestral healing. We need to look at what we've immediately passed down, get to work on a higher level of ownership, radical ownership. Cool, I'm getting some yeses. Yes, yes. Parent, yes, 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 yes. Cool. Anybody else who is working on ancestral energy? Really, I just got chills through my whole body. I do want to share with you that in the Akashic Record training, which, by the way, if you don't know, now you know, my core area of genius is not actually reading the Akashic Records for you, it's teaching you how to do it for yourself. We do have training and certification available. And in that training, you go through a comprehensive ancestral clearing, as well as past life clearing. Not only do you learn to read your records and clear the energy and the patterns that are repetitive, that are not of your highest potential, but you can consciously rewrite what it is that you want to experience. You can rewrite those fundamental patterns within your Akash that will create the vibrational frequency of coherence that moves what you want to experience into reality. If that make any sense at all. All right, let's grab another question here. Let's see. We have finding worth in productivity for me. Sky. All right, Sky. Finding worth in productivity. This is a good one. Anybody having challenges with productivity right now? Challenges with productivity. So what the guides are wanting me to share, they're re-illuminating a message that dropped in for me. I wonder if I have my notes on it. I cleaned my desk, so I don't even think let me just briefly look and see. It was really interesting. I'm not, no chance, I gotta say. Here's what the guy, I'll just bring through what they want me to bring through in the now. But I already know that it's about this same thing that they were telling me. All right, so when we're challenged around productivity, there's a root misalignment with our time, meaning we don't have enough time scheduled in actually for ourselves, for rejuvenation, for recreation, for things that begin to move us out of our to-do list and into true interaction with the world. And what happens is when we don't give ourselves enough of that, and sometimes I do this too. This is why I can tell you right now, because my guides have been on me about this, because I've had a lot to do on my to-do list around Conscious Life Expo, and I have been putting off other things. Self-care, rejuvenation, entertainment. I go into the modes where it's all work. Anybody else go into all work? Type all work in the comments if you're noticing this pattern in yourself too. And I do that because I feel like, the work is important and I'm devoted to it and I'm dedicated to this process. And this is what needs to be done. And I'm willing to do what needs to be done. I'm actually in an overdrive of masculine energy there. Productivity is definitely a very masculine energy. And I mean to create as much time as possible for me to show up and do all this important work that needs to be done. But because I don't have a a true mastery and prioritization over my time and what will really serve me to keep me sharp. That time that I scheduled, it just like all bleeds into one task. I get as far as I can, and then I go into another task, and I get as far as I can. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Kathy, you know what I'm doing? I'm counting tabs on my freaking computer. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 15, 16, 25 tabs open right now. What the Some of you have even more. I know. I don't like to have all those tabs open. And so what the record shared with me was that I needed more balance. And they gave me a visual in terms of understanding schedule blocking. It was like this vision that I saw of myself. And that is, all right, if I were to schedule this amount of time to go to my gym, and it's like a cool rec center, so you can spend the whole afternoon there in the saunas. And then if I gave myself this amount of time to get the grocery shopping done, and then this amount, and I really mapped out, like that's where the productivity needs to come in, is really mapping out first self-care, second preparation that you need to show up for your life. Y'all, if I don't go to the grocery store, I don't even, like, live with hungry teenagers and don't have enough food to eat. I'm just saying, try to get any work done under those conditions. Like, hell no, not happening. Hangry teenagers do not make for a good work at home mix. A lot of you have toddlers. Toddlers are also a very challenging work at home mix. But take your productivity back to the scheduling and the prioritization. And if you do that, you're only going to have a 4-hour block of time to show up to work. And your ass is going to be really clear and excited and ready because you're so rejuvenated to show up and work and to get that work done. And it made so much sense to me to see this rearrange. All right, let me know if this is landing for you. Let me see what transmission the guy. Okay, the guys want to continue with that courage transmission, because courage to make these paradigm shifts when we are so attached to the identity of overproduction and thinking that that makes us good or worthy in any way, that's some challenging stuff. So we're working on really deep patterns here. I'm proud of you all. Give yourself a pat on the back, by the way. Working at a deep level. All right, feel that energy coming in through courage here, or I should say through the solar plexus, and just breathe. Breathing into your solar plexus. Solar plexus is about 2 inches above your belly button. It's the center of your personal power. I want you to relax your body while you're breathing too. The guys are saying relax, relax, relax. Notice any shifts moving in the body. I'm definitely feeling this interesting tingling at the base of my spine. Just notice what you notice. It's energy moving. When we do this energy work, the energy has its own consciousness, so it knows right where to work with you, with your body. Just notice it. All right, we have a couple minutes. I'm gonna grab one more question here. I love hanging out with you guys. Ooh, Katie Bray here. Oh wait, actually, there's a couple. Okay, we're gonna fire through a couple more here because I'm inspired. I'm feeling the energy. Kathy Bray. I would like to know why I am stuck spiritually. If you feel a little stuck spiritually or a lot stuck spiritually right now, let me know in the comments. You can just say me or yes. Sending this energy through specifically for you. Okay, so Kathy and anyone else who is experiencing this right now, and anyone who wants to experience more clarity in terms of your spiritual cognition and processing, you can say yes now. The guys want to work in the crown chakra. And Kathy, for you, they're saying that there is, they don't want me to use the word blockage. At first I heard the word blockage, but then they changed the wording really quickly. I think they're using the word blockage because it's something that we can all relate to when it comes to energy work. right? But the truth is there's no such thing as blockage. What it really is it's a disharmony. And it comes from a childhood programming around spirituality and religion. And what the guides are offering right now is a release of any spiritual programming that came from our carbon-based DNA. So that's ancestral as well. It means it's passed through our ancestry. Or that is terrestrial in nature, meaning it's located here on the earth and we experience it geographically. And through this transmission, there's an offering to clear any connections or commitments that you have to any galactic religion. Just clearing any of those through the time-space continuum, clearing them here through the crown chakra, about 12 inches above your head. It's the energy center that processes your relationship to God. And so for those of you who are wanting to experience this clearing right now, what the guides are doing is they're removing any distortion in the field so that you can have your own authentic experience in whatever way is meaningful to you. Okay? The guides want me to talk about one more thing in regard to feeling spiritually stuck. And that is, if you're getting information about how you need to shift and grow and change and intuitive nuggets that you need to follow, breadcrumbs you need to follow, and you're not doing it, that will shut the energy off too. So if that's you and you found your way in here, let me invite you to consider that the Akashic Records could be the answer that you're looking for. And feel free to reach out, send me a message. Please don't send me a message in the comments here. Send me a private message. Like if you're serious about learning, send me a private message so I can see that faster. Attend to you faster. All right, here was the last question. Mystic Rabbit. How do we discern imagination from the mind of God? From imagination from anything else that is not the mind of God? This is a fantastic question. This has to do with vibrational frequency. All right, so let's talk about the Akashic field first. The Akashic field is an etheric field that is all around us. Akash is a Sanskrit word that means ether. Ether is primordial energy or the fifth element. We have earth, wind, water, fire, and space or ether. This is the element from which the other four elements stem. This field is all around us. It's all intelligence. And it interacts with us. It meets us right where we are in terms of intelligence. So if we are talking to it, which we are, we're communicating with it all the time, generally not from a conscious state, but we're asking questions, we're thinking thoughts, we're sending frequency out to this field, right? And if we are communicating with this field from less than consciousness or below our awareness, we're operating from a state of being asleep and our patterns are driving us. And when our patterns drive us, one of the biggest patterns that drives us when we're in that state is victimhood. And what we do is we start blaming other people for things. And so an example of how this might be playing out in your everyday world is you wake up late, you're rushing out the door, you're late to work, you get in traffic, you're, why is everybody and their grandmother on the road today cutting me off? And you're going to get an answer back into your mind that has some snarky remark because the vibration matches your vibration. So you're not taking responsibility for being late and rushing. You're blaming others. So the information that comes back is going to be a feedback loop in alignment with that story. And all of that happens through the imagination, right? So you see why Mystic Rabbit's question is so important. How do we know when this process is happening from the mind of God or from some altered place where the information can be distorted? I mean, that's not of the highest truth. the answer that we get back, the snarky comment back, right? Let me know if this is making sense. If you're following, type following in the comments for me. The guys are talking high level today. All right, so nobody's letting me know that this is landing yet. Come on, I told you I was an actress for 20 years. Okay, I need the feedback, folks. Come on, y'all. Following, thank you, R. Craig. Following, thank you, Green Mountain Hippie. Geo, thank you. Okay, feeling better. Makes so much sense. Good. Okay. I stopped to be all actressy and get my accolades there and ego, and the transmission's not coming through as clear. All right, let me get out of my own way and drop back in. What was the last thing you remember me saying? Somebody has to remind me. Now I'm testing y'all. What was the last thing you remember me saying? Come on. Help me trigger the flow back. What was the last thing you remember me saying? All right, let's see if I can. I'm going to keep trying to pull it up too. Oh, which, by the way, when it comes to reading the Akashic Records, blaming. Thanks, guys. I'm Peter Underground Railroad. Peter, I was going to ask you specifically. This is actually great for anybody to know who does read the records, and something about manifesting what you react to. Oh, and blaming. Oh, yes, I got it in the field. Thanks, guys. The difference between our imagination and the mind of God. Okay. But this is what happens is this is how we get the information from the records is I stay in a place where I'm a frequency match of unconditional love and zero judgment. But see, then as my human experience and my shit and coming here on live and telling y'all to clap for me and shit, it alters my vibrational frequency. And then I have to go back into this space. And you all hold me in a beautiful space when you help me and remind me. Help raise the vibrational frequency back up. But this can happen when you are reading the records or you're reading the records for other people. So what we do is we just bring our vibrational frequency back up. Hey, Rhonda Elliott in the house. Hey, Miss Rhonda. All right, so back to the blaming. Blaming is something else that will lower your vibrational frequency. And so when you, I just realized this is this little vignette that I'm not really acting for y'all. I'm improvising because it's happening in real life, right? That I'm sharing with you. This is an example of how our energy frequency can pull us out of that space of mind of God, even when we're well-intentioned, right? This is how it works. Blaming gets you kicked out of the Akashic Records, the God mind. Now, you're not really kicked out. You're just no longer a vibrational match. So that's why when I'm training my students to learn to read the Akashic Records, there are mechanics that we use that help to shift our energy back into a state of neutrality. Neutrality is unconditional love and zero judgment. And there are things that we can do through visualization, through sound, through breath work that help us to move our energy into that vibrational match state. Cool, that makes sense? Dude, that was rocking. Even though I totally forgot what I was saying. Like I could not get that channel back for the life of me. I saw it. But what a perfect example of how the energy works. Let me know if you're enjoying this as much as I just did. I didn't there for a second. I felt like a dumbass. Just kidding though. I mean, kidding and not kidding. I definitely love when I feel like I'm probably like all of you. Don't you love it when you feel like you're doing a good job? I can feel the energy when I'm connected and it's flowing. And I like to feel like I do a good job for myself and for you all. And it creates momentum about getting back on and coming again and doing this. Although I definitely recognize that I've built the habit around devotion to this since I've been doing it since 2015. But I still like to be really good at it. I feel better when I'm doing really good at it. I'm listening to an audio book right now that talks about when you're speaking impromptu and when something goes awry, it's not quite how you planned it, how you recover from it. And I think we got to learn from all of that today. This is what it looks like. Be human, be raw, be on the forefront of creating your life. There are genius tools that you can use, that you can tap into, that will bring you perspective that you're not currently seeing, that will give you insight and clarity on how to shift so that you can do it quickly. The Akashic Records saves me decades of time. And it's really fun. The other beautiful thing, if you do decide to train here within the Akashic Academy, is that you'll be connected in with the community of like-minded, like-hearted people who are doing the work to advance themselves, to take responsibility. We hold ourselves to a frequency of the highest potential with love and grace and so much fun. Oh my goodness. So much laughter. Gee, how long does it take to learn to read the Akashic Records? Well, in my training, within the first 5 modules, each module is about half an hour, by the way. Within the first 5 modules, you'll learn how to read. Actually, within the first 3 modules, you learn how to read the records. But the first part of the training is about how you learn to read them. And I give you a technique, a reliable technique. And then part 2 and part 3 of the training are how you get to use them. So once you learn how to read them, you're going to want to do a pretty comprehensive overview of reading your own. Yes, n'est-ce pas? Isn't that so? So you go through the process of reading your own, gaining massive amounts of intelligence, insight about yourself, your life. You do a massive amount of healing and clearing in that stage as well. Rewriting. If you've got patterns, like effed up patterns around money, around relationships, that either they've been passed down or they're a result of some kind of trauma you've experienced, you'll rewrite those in your Akashic Records. So you can rewrite patterns that are stable and that support you for what you want. And then there's also an aspect of this training that unlocks your unique creative genius. And you'll do fancy, fun things in the Akashic Records like astral travel and move into your past lives, your future lives, and get to know yourself on a quantum level. It opens up a dialogue between you and the innate divinity within you that becomes everlasting wisdom, guidance, and clarity from this point forward. It's not like a modality. I mean, it is a modality for healing, but it's a connection point that allows you access to the most evolved parts of yourself. All right, I love you guys. If you had fun here today, let me know, share this out, and I'll see you back here again next week. I guess with that, no further ado, close the curtain. Bye, guys.